let's talk about specific lights because I just purchased this one and I want to talk about it. Because you know me, I like Surefire, but it's twice as good and costs 4 times as much. I think Surefire is brutally overpriced. Great lights, very durable.
I agree. I love them. This is Surefire. I love them.
Yeah, climb over a mountain, go for it. And I've always used the Streamlight ProTac in particular, because I'm a poor. Because honestly, that's what the city bought me for my team gun. Yep. And I have a lot of them.
They'll buy you a $300 suppressor cover, though.
I mean, don't get me started. Okay,
but a $300 Surefire. No, it's too much.
Correct. So let me reach over here because it's right over here on my desk.
Yep.
Okay, so here's my Streamlight ProTac HLX, and this is my Cloud Defensive Rein. I think it's the Rein 3, but it's just the Rein. And you can see that size-wise, they're comparable.
A little smaller head diameter on the Rein.
Yeah, the pads are a little different. Mm-hmm. The wiring on the Rein is far superior. This is about $115, $125. This one is usually a little over $300. Okay. But they're having a sale for November where it's like $278 or $280, somewhere in there.
Okay. So definitely expensive.
Expensive, but not as expensive as Surefire, because Surefire doesn't really come with all the toys.
Yeah.
Okay. This comes with the mount, even though I'm using an Arasaka mount, it came with a different mount. It comes with the light, comes with the battery, comes with the charger, and it comes with the pressure pad.
Oh, it comes with a pad too. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And the pad is kind of interesting. So
it's like a Mod Light pad.
I'm not familiar with Mod Light. But
Yeah.
Streamlight, right?
Yep.
Moment switch. Press the pad, damn thing lights up. Pretty common. But one issue I have with the ProTac is if your finger is anywhere around that pad and you're firing, the vibration will cause the lights up moment, will kind of flash every once in a while. I've noticed. Not cool. This
That's
one
the
is
issues I've had with my because I've had 2 older Streamlights, and those were the issues. But it wouldn't flicker; it would turn the light off, and it would kill the light.
Oh, really?
And then I'd shoot a few more rounds, and the light would come back to life again. And then a few more rounds after that, I would die again.
Okay, that's not cool.
I've had that happen with 2 different HLXs.
So, this Cloud Defensive, this is their constant switch. They have a different one that's a moment that functions just like that. So, if I turn it on, now it's on. And it requires a click to turn it on. If I touch it at all, it goes off.
Yeah.
So the default is on versus the default being off, which is the exact opposite of the Streamlight. And most lights, because most lights, let's turn this one off. Most lights, your default is off. Yeah. And that turns it on. So why?
From a theoretical point of view, I actually like that.
I agree. But why? Why do you think they did it? What do you think? I know why I think they did it. Why do you think they did it?
Because to me, it's a practical thing. And on top of that, you don't always have to keep your thumb on the light or the pad itself. So if you want to hit that thing on and move your thumb somewhere else, it stays on. But also, to me, it was always annoying with the momentary stuff where you always have to click on off, as opposed to I just want off, or in this case, be off, press it off. It's an interesting.
It certainly
theoretically, I like it, but
it removes NDs.
That's a good one.
It also removes if I'm shooting and the recoil of the gun removes my thumb from that pad. It doesn't cause my light to go out. I had an officer learn that earlier this week in some training. He didn't realize that happened.
Yep.
And he always used his I run a ballistic shield and we run a handgun, and I always use the constant, not the moment. And this officer was using the moment. And he went to shoot and it went out. And it was simunitions, but still. And it went out. I go, "Why'd your light go out?" He goes, "Because I was using the moment switch, and I never realized that would happen with the recoil." I'm like, "Yeah, well, lesson learned." Yeah. It's why we train. It's why we do it.
Even with a sim gun.
Yeah, there's stuff like that you don't notice until it happens in training. But overall, this light, one, it's got 27,000 candela worth of throw,
Okay.
100,000 plus.
Yep.
Yeah. Just shot it in my backyard. That's the only place I've really used it at night thus far. Thinking I was going to light up the neighbor's yard, and I lit up the neighbor's yard 5 yards away. So it's pretty. It is got a lot of beam. The beam really, really gets out there. I'm going to do some photos, maybe for some future content where I'm out. I'll probably go out where I work at night, where there's a lot more space, and really give people an idea how far it goes. But this rifle is essentially a longer range rifle, an Overwatch rifle. I spend a lot of this. I bring this on a lot of rooftops, and if I want to do some sort of target ID at 200 yards, this light is really struggling with that task.
It's not going to do it.
Right, but this light can,
Yeah.
and it's rechargeable. I can't say anything about the durability. Haven't had it that long, but I suspect just from looking at the quality of the wiring and everything, it's superior to the Streamlight. It also costs $300, but the Streamlight's $110, $115. So I am cautiously optimistic that I'm going to be a Cloud Defensive fan. Still cheaper than Surefire, not radically cheaper, but cheaper.
Yep.
They're
I've heard nothing but
early.
good things about Cloud Defensive, though.
Well, their early lights was that one huge monstrous like Coke can on the side of your rifle, and
Oh,
it was
yes,
all
I remember that.
right. So the mount was built. The switch was built into the mount, and it was just
Yes,
like this
yes.
mat. Yeah, a couple students have had them.
I think it's called the Owl, if I remember. The Cloud
Yeah,
Defensive
I think you're
Owl,
right.
I think it was. Yeah.
And it's an interesting light.
Mm-hmm.
It performs well. It's clearly very, very durable. I think they erred on the side of durability, but it's really heavy, and the footprint that it takes up on the rail is huge. And obviously they discontinued it and they went with this. They went with more of a traditional design. But
It was like the mall of white lights.
Yeah,
It had
it
like
was-
the same design as a mall. It was
it was huge.
weird.
So I'm cautiously optimistic. I like the size of it. They also come with the small version. I'll probably buy the mini. I'll buy a mini for my my CQB gun, my work gun, probably eventually. If this one really works out. But it checks all the boxes, and the switch is interesting. It's different. It takes some getting used to. It's kind of like when you're playing a video game and you accidentally switch the controls route and you invert them, and all of a sudden you're a mess. And I think it's kind of the same thing as it's inverted, but I think I'll figure it out. It will be intuitive. So count me down as a cautiously optimistic fan of the Rein.